What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. Yesterday was a lot to process. I took the day and I processed as much as I could. Of course, we're still taking things in. Vice President Harris, she chose to give her concession speech yesterday at 4 p.m. when she was ready, and I commend her for that. She did so with grace and style, as she's done throughout this entire campaign. And, going forward, I appreciate the message of hope that she gave everybody at Howard University. The title in this Rolling Stone article, it says, "Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win." And the fact that she was able to create such an amazing community, right? So many people were behind her. Um, so many, virtual communities popped up, like this group for Kamala Harris, that group for Kamala Harris. It was amazing to see, because now that we have, the president elect come in, he is, in my opinion, just the antithesis of community. He, he's always trying to divide and conquer. Um, almost every, I was going to say almost every demographic, but even in his own backyard, just looking at his own personal record in regards to him cheating on his multiple wives, trying to essentially get rid of his, last vice president, trying to overthrow our own government, our own democracy. And this is the man that they chose to reelect. He has an upcoming trial. I don't even know what's going to happen with that. From what I'm hearing, Merrick Garland and the DOJ are just going to magically make his erase all of his convictions. And the fact that the Supreme Court has chosen to give him immunity is concerning. The whole situation is concerning. Um, I'm trying to make some things shake in regards to what I'm going to do going forward. But I will say this, I'm so glad to see online that so many people are focusing on self-care. And, um, I had a little bit of a laugh just before I made this video. If you guys hear my puppy who is down there sneezing and making all kind of ruckus. And it's funny because, I got him a little girlfriend. This is years ago when I first got them. They're older now, but and they're cute little Yorkie poodles, Yorkie poos. And I'm like, Pumpkin, you got, and that's his nickname. It's not his real name, but he has fresh laundry. I just finished washing their, dog bed and their blankets and all that stuff. And fresh out the dryer. I'm like, you got fresh laundry, a fresh bed, you got, full belly, fresh water, your girlfriend over there, and you over here by me, by my feet, sneezing and carrying on. Ruckus. But the Lord knows I needed that laugh, because um just I had to give myself a break from social media too, because now what I'm hearing is, or reading is, Mayor Eric Adams is, contacting Trump about a potential pardon. Then we have Diddy reaching out to Trump for a potential presidential pardon. I'm just like, this is just about to be um, a mess, a hot mess. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this article, because I really commend Vice President Harris for just being so classy about this whole situation. That's one thing I can say about, the Biden Harris administration. The transfer, the peaceful transfer of power, right, is an essential tenet of democracy. And a lot of people are questioning, going forward, will we even have a democracy after these 4 years? I don't know. I honestly do not know. It says Washington, D.C., standing on a stage in front of the Frederick Douglass Memorial Hall on campus of Howard University, her alma mater. Kamala Harris told the courtyard filled with her young supporters that she was ending her bid for president. She says, quote, "The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, as long as we keep fighting." That's commendable. And I'm not as optimistic as I once was. I think, when Obama came into office in 2008 and he had a message of hope and, yes, I can. And it would really resonated with so many people, especially after the mess that was left by George Bush. I was hopeful then. And I was hopeful that, I was thinking that this was a country that valued democracy, that we were going toward an embrace of a multicultural democracy, right? Now in 2024, especially after seeing, January 6th and Trump being reelected recently, I'm realizing that over half of the country, I don't think that they buy into or desire or want a democracy. I don't feel like that is an American value any longer, if it ever was, right? I feel like there was a presupposition or an assumption that people value democratic ideas, that they value, things like education and autonomy and agency and all that. And now, like I said, after, just seeing so many people rally behind a man who has told us repeatedly that he does not value these things, that he wants to dismantle the Department of Education, that he wants to be a dictator on day one, all of these things. A lot of people are saying, oh, he was joking, or he didn't mean, XYZ. Yes, he does. And no, he was not joking. He said it with his chest. That's the one thing I can say about Donald John Trump. From the very beginning, from day one, he has been consistent, if nothing else. Mostly, everyone around him has either went to prison, dropped out of politics altogether. Looking at you, Mike Pence, which I don't blame him. If they brought, that rope for me at the Capitol, I'd have been gone too. But Donald Trump said, I could, unalive somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and not lose any of my supporters. This was years ago. And he said it with his chest and he meant it. And he was right. That, like, I'm realizing that he knows his base. He knows his supporters. There is nothing that he could do. There's nothing that he could do. He literally could unalive somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and not lose one supporter. I really believe that. And it goes across all demographics. Women, men, white, black, young, old. Like, these people love the cruelty that he embodies. And for the other part of, of America who doesn't support Trump, or, is trying to excuse away their friends and relatives who are supporters of him. And they're like, oh, this is not America. This is not who we are. Go back to our history. Go back to 1776. Go back to, what happened with the Native Americans, the Chinese immigrants who were forced to build the railroads, our people, right, who were stolen from Africa to literally build this country brick by brick. We built this for free, by the way. This is exactly who we are. And like I said, in 2008, I was like, okay, we have our first Black president. Yes, we can, and, moving forward. But Donald Trump came right after that and was just a backlash, a white lash, a lot of people called it. It was retribution to Obama. And now they're literally just trying to erase everything that his administration did, from the American, Care Act, or the Affordable Care Act, ACA, Obamacare. They're trying to get rid of that. And they replaced that with Trump saying he had a concept of a plan. This man is nothing but a walking embodiment of everything that is, well, I guess that represents his base. I'll link this article. I don't want to make this video too long, but I just have to get that off my chest. I hope you guys are doing okay. We're breathing one day at a time. The Lord is still on the throne. He is. He's sovereign. I truly believe that. But I'm not as young and naive as I was in 2008. And so my eyes are open. And all I can say is, I'm trying to focus on building up, this channel, building up community. And I hope that all of you are doing well. So with that being said, like, VP Harris says, the fight continues. Drop down in the comments, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you later. Take care of yourselves. Bye, Aces.